the Niger Delta Sports Festival. The opening ceremony scheduled for 5:30 p.m. later today at the Uyo Township Stadium. So if you are in Uyo, if you are in Akwa Ibom State, if you are in any of the Niger Delta states, do make your way to the Uyo Township Stadium later this evening by 5:30 p.m. for the opening ceremony of the Niger Delta Games. On your screen are visuals from the LOC, of course, of the final rehearsals that were done yesterday at the stadium. So the dancers, the cultural performance, of course, will also take place later this evening, of course. So it promises to be a spectacular one. You can see the performance getting set. These are the costumes they will also use later today. So yesterday was just the final rehearsals to get a feel of the venue for the opening ceremony. It promises to be quite spectacular, of course. Accreditation is also ongoing. That's why the final rehearsals were going on yesterday. Accreditation is still ongoing for athletes and officials to get everyone ready for these games. Now, what we understand is that the security arrangement will be tight. So if you are not properly accredited, you will not be allowed access into some of the event centers, of course, or where the athletes and officials are. For the opening ceremony anyway, we expect that the stadium will be thrown open for fans to come see the opening event right there. Then in the coming days also, as the event takes shape at a couple of the venues, we'll also have of course fans and spectators being mobilized to go to those venues. Now, before we of course get a feel from the likes of Aisha Falode, Eda Paul Bassi, who is the Akwa Ibom Commissioner of Sport, and a number of the MOC members who paid a visit to the of course cultural troupe yesterday. Let me quickly bring in Odudu to get a feel of what is going down in Uyo this morning. Good morning, Odudu. Good to have you on ADBN Sport again. Share with us, it's the kickoff date for the Niger Delta Sport Festival in Uyo. What is the mood like in Uyo? And what have you seen and heard about final preparations to have an each-free Niger Delta Games?
So sad here in Uyo. It's been raining since morning.
Wow.
And some people are saying it's showers of blessing. It's a sign of what to expect from this. I want to call it, the Niger Delta Olympics. It's more like a World Cup over here in Uyo. It's a beehive of activities at the stadium. All the hotels have been shut down. Visitors have been trooping into Uyo, and of course, as you rightly stated, all the athletes and participants in this particular inaugural Niger Delta Games, are in town. I think they are all in a high spirit. I spoke to a cross section of them, and they said this is what they've been hearing for the times. And of course, you don't forget that sports is a money spinning venture. Now, if your lad, if your son or your daughter takes sports serious or has the talent, to do sports to that biggest level, then you can of course be smiling to the bank, because you will make a living through it. So I think it's been spot on for the NDDC, eggheads to come up with this idea, and of course if you had taken this particular event to another place, it wouldn't have been right, because we just got everything that you need. The ambience is there, the security is top notch here, the road network, and of course the sporting facilities are here, and of course not forgetting the hospitality that the people of Akwa Ibom State are known for. So it was only correct, for it to be held here in Uyo. And I think the athletes have been at home. Niger Delta is very friendly. Beyond the youth restiveness, the militancy where everybody talks ill about Niger Delta, we are here to show you the beauty of Niger Delta, that the young people in Niger Delta can also do sports. And I think some people unjustly, always label Niger Delta, with violence. They forget that Seven Keshi, the only coach, or I think the third coach in Africa that's visited the Nations Cup as a player and as a footballer, as a player and a coach, was from Niger Delta, precisely from Edo State. Something Siasia, talk about the likes of James Situwebe, you talk about the likes of Austin Jejo Kocha, Kanu Wankwo, Vincent Zeyema, Friday Kpo, the list is endless. So the Niger Delta, beyond the negatives, you've got so much to show. Not also forgetting our cultural display, of course, the delicacy. So I think for me, it's going to be by 5 p.m. we are going to have the opening ceremony, and according to Philas, the president is expected. So security on the streets of Uyo and within the stadium has been very, very top notch. I think for me, the atmosphere is already charged up. You can feel the competition in the air. You can only wait for the games to kickstart, Samuel.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to visit the Niger Delta one of these days. When you mentioned the delicacy, that was quite an interesting point for me. 2 visits to try the delicacies, of course. Well, the last 2 Olympic medalists we had for Nigeria are from the Niger Delta, Blessing Oburududu and Favour Ofili. The Niger Delta has bailed us out severally, not just in football, in sports entirely, actually. And one of the things Ari Wala, respected sport journalist, said on the show yesterday, when I asked him about the focus of the festival is beyond oil, enhancing talent. And I asked him about what the plan is. Athletes aged 16 to 25, what is the plan really for these athletes when they are discovered? And he said there is a committee headed by our respected senior colleague, Godwin Enaina, the man who brought up MFM Football Club, Basketball Club, and the athletics team. And the basketball and the athletics team are going so well, so strong. The football team, sadly, politics came into it. And he said there's a committee by Godwin Enaina. And so, before we get a couple of sound bites from what we saw yesterday at the final rehearsals, Odudu, beyond oil, enhancing talent, are you quite satisfied with what we've had so far from the LOC, having a scouting committee on ground headed by Godwin Enaina, the man we know knows how to do the job? And beyond that committee, what would you like to see? So that we don't just hold this festival for the fun of it 1 week, and at the end of it, we can't point to 10 talent from the Niger Delta Games. So let's put some more pressure on the LOC. What would you like to see at the end of this, that we can point to some talents from this competition?
Me, Samuel, anytime, any day, when it comes to talent, you've got it, in abundance in the Niger Delta. Not beyond the Niger Delta, in Nigeria, you've got young people that, are willing to, go to the tartan tracks and, of course, try their lot, and, of course, swimming pool, to do all of that. I think the key thing, I love the fact that we've got round pegs in round hole. Aisha Falode, Elder Paul Bassi, Enagada also, not also forgetting Victor Ikbeba also has a tournament that he has been running for a very long time. And I think the Delta State Sports Commission over the years have been the reference point whenever you want to get athletes to represent Nigeria. They have always raised the bar. They have always built Nigeria now, time and time again. So I think when it comes to personnel, when it comes to the scouting and the structure, to a great extent you can say it's been there already. It's just for the ending down to bring them together and, of course, give them a platform to do the job better. Now, in my opinion, if you ask me, beyond just coming to Akwa Ibom State, beyond the oil, we need to use the oil money to get infrastructure. I think it's an aberration that we've got the riverine areas in the Niger Delta region, but we don't have a swimmer that's been able to get gold medal in the Olympics. If you can swim in the high sea, I think going to a swimming pool should not be a problem. So I think it's about time for us to use what we have to our advantage. We need Gade Legal is also there. He has represented Canada before, got a gold medal, in the Olympics. He has done so much for Bayelsa when it comes to wrestling and all of that. So guys should come around and let us look at, if Bayelsa has got strength in wrestling, then we put up a world-class, wrestling facility there. If Akwa Ibom has got, their strength in swimming, you put up, based on needs. If this is what this particular region needs, you put it there. Then, of course, the think tank or the scouting team, whatever you want to call it, I think for me, I always emphasize on beyond who wins what, beyond the politics of who tops the medal table, who emerges champion at the end of the day. We want to have a target. And let me give you a story, Samuel. When the Gospel Club International Stadium was unveiled for the first time, then the Senate President, His Excellency Gospel Oburududu, made a statement. He said that he wants this facility to produce the next Area Williams in the next 10 years. He wants this facility to give us athletes in the next 10, 5, 15 years. And that is the vision. Now, I think he will be so satisfied, and every Niger Delta or Akwa Ibom will beat their hands on the chair and say, this same facility hosted the inaugural Niger Delta Games, and in the next 2-3 years, we have got world champions, we have got national champions that represent Nigeria at the Olympics. Ibadan Suko was one of the inaugural athletes identified at the Akwa Ibom State Games. Today, she now represents Nigeria. She got a scholarship and went to the United States of America. So for me, beyond the sport, we need to weave education with sports. Adopt a Messi America today, played for the Green Eagles, but because of education, he was able to be Chief Justice, I think a Commissioner for Justice in Rivers State. So in all of this, while we identify talent, while we try to build infrastructure, we also have to bring education to fore so that players understand that at the end of where your talent can push you through, you can fall back on education and you make a living from it.
Yeah, definitely. Solid one right there. So hopefully the MOC and the LOC will also be looking at this direction, especially as we are looking at the age range of 16 to 25. These are young people we expect to be in school, one level of school from secondary school to the tertiary institution, so that as they are competing for their various states and winning medals for themselves and their state, they are also developing themselves education-wise. That would be fantastic. And those who will also love to learn one or two skills, we should have a comprehensive plan, really. So let's have some sound bites now. Let's feel some of the Niger Delta vibes on the show this morning. When we return from that, I'll get some more thoughts from Odudu on the games, some more expectations. So let's have some of the MOC members, of course, visited the final rehearsals yesterday. They will also listen to some of the ambassadors of the games. Favor Ashe, of course, 100-meter runner for Nigeria, part of it right there. Tamunosiki Atoru Dibo, also part of the ambassadors. And when we return from that, we'll give a couple more updates on what to expect from the opening ceremony later today.
People when we just gather, they're here. First, make I introduce the chairman of NDDC. Next person to introduce. Hello. The next person. Wait. Hello. The next person is the managing director and the CEO, Dr. Samuel Obuku. And my own chairman of the organizing committee that has put all of you together. Alabo, Boma, Iyaye, Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah.
There was a legendary extra-not stout senior man terminal all the way from Rivers, now in Uyo. You be ambassador for this one, bros. May them meet you fully.
My name is Tamunosiki Atoru Dibo, one-time national champion, Olympian, and also one-time world youth record holder. The NDDC National Sports Festival is the Delta Festival is the first of its kind, and I believe it's going to go a long way for the youths in this region. And we are going to see the likes of a new Tamunosiki, new Shenwogukoya, among others. And I believe the competition is going to go the way it is supposed to go. It's going to go that high.
I like say you talk from the creeks to the world. I bet gaze in the camera, make you say people from Africa and across the globe, may they feed the voters. Say Rivers on show, drop on.
Kekese Wabola Sam.
Wabola Sam. Only one of the biggest names when it comes to athletics, track and field in Nigeria. Don't show like Dodo to take run things for inside the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Crazy to see you on this side of the patch. Favor Ashe, how far now?
I do.
I bet those who don't know your voltage, maybe you just give them half of your CV.
I will, Favor Ashe, but aka Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah.
You know they run around.
How they go.
Yeah.
Omo, you dey here with kids from 16 to 25. You dey rep Team Delta. In one sentence, what do you dey expect as somebody when don come through the grassroots and still dey give back to grassroots at this stage?
I mean, I just want successful competition. Like everything should be successful. Like this competition is 25 years down.
Yes.
So like the younger kids should run faster. The older guys should run faster. Me, I'm here to run fast. Not like me and the time, me and the clock. Favor versus the clock.
Yes, now. Una don hear am for here. Favour no dey see any competition. Na Favour Ashe versus what?
Versus the clock.
Versus the clock.
Of course, some vibes right there. More still coming. Now let's talk about the Uyo Township Stadium, the venue for the opening ceremony later today, 5:30 p.m. The Uyo Township Stadium is ready. It's wearing a new look. Well, if you were there last week, you might not recognize the Uyo Township Stadium again. So that is what we understand. Of course, a couple of designs have been put up by the MOC and the LOC to get the stadium in shape. This was before the final rehearsals yesterday at the stadium. So hopefully the stadium will be fit to capacity later today to have everyone on ground. Now, some of the outlets, the media team of the LOC also caught up with some of the outlets. Let's take a listen to what some of them had to say ahead of the start of competition.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Ekok Emmanuel Ajom.
David Okun Efeom.
Luciana Umama. My name is Precious.
What are your expectations as we get into the festival?
We came here, we are coming here for the good.
For the good, though.
We're here for the good. Well, my expectations with my teammates is for us to work together and win.
I'm expecting gold, nothing less.
Good or not?
Yeah, damn it.
Of course, I'm going to win a medal.
Medal for them.
I expect excitement, fun, and at the same time, I also expect unity since a lot of states are coming together to actually play. So I feel this is a way for us to bond with each other.
Even if it's bronze, but I know God will make it.
So expect a lot, like a fair game also involved, and for us winning, it's going to be a big deal for me too.
It's going to be a big deal. Thank you so much.
So young athletes right there, I'm quite happy, 16 to 25, young athletes, the future of Nigeria. Now, still on the opening games, you can expect 40 comedians and musical artists from the Niger Delta will be performing later today. Fino and Iben will be part of them. Of course, that's what we understand. So Fino and Iben will be thrilling fans at the opening ceremony today. They will be joined by others, of course. So in total, there will be 40 music and comedy talent from the Niger Delta region, supported by cultural dancers from the NDDC state. Of course, so you saw some of them earlier on. So you can watch out for Fino and for Iben later today, and a couple of other comedians. The Niger Delta have the best comedians in Nigeria, if not in Africa. So watch out. It's going to be a spectacular opening ceremony. You just have to make your way to the Uyo Township Stadium. Quick update around some of their rivals. Team Baeza already in Uyo. They left Yenegoa yesterday. Daniel Igali told them that it's an opportunity to expose themselves and get set for the National Sport Festival that will take place in Abeokuta. That should be in the month of May. So great opportunity to prepare the Niger Delta State. Now, the media team of the of course, the festival also caught up with some of the athletes across about 3 states. So let's feel some more vibes from those states, of course, as we count down to the opening ceremony.
I saw! You saw me from Bobby Kimemia! Yes,
Cross River State! Cross River State!
This Niger Delta Games is one you shouldn't miss. I mean, if you're in Uyo, nothing should stop you from going to any of the venues. Finally, on the Niger Delta Games for this morning, Bukola Olopade, DG of the National Sports Commission, is in Uyo. He paid a visit to the main organizing committee yesterday, and of course, to check their level of preparation and also to encourage the team. Now, don't forget that Bukola Olopade, of course, will be spearheading the National Sport Festival in May come Abeokuta, of course, later this year. The media team of the LOC also caught up with him, and he had a couple of things to say. Let's take a listen now to, of course, Honorable Bukola Olopale speaking to the media team of the Niger Delta Sport Festival.
Best one for Niger Delta. What has impressed you the most?
Now the general warrior attitude where Malik of Dunami stay organize this thing. You know, say with the Shan Niger Delta and Niger Delta. But me and you know, say nothing a woof arrangement. Now the warrior attitude from start. But don't forget, say, when this thing start, I never be DG.
Yes.
So Malik, my brother, he call me. So we do this thing together. I say, sure. I be worried now. We go do it together. But on a serious note, they don't do well. They do well. Then I waiting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu they ask for, and then I waiting myself and Shehu Diku. We dey preach since we come. Say grassroots development. Now waiting we must mean. No be waiting with the yano pattern on. Waiting we say we must mean. Say okay, we dey talk say we want do this thing, we want do it, we must do it. Because now from here we will get all the correct guys. Let's say tomorrow they will turn to Kako.
Yes, sir.
They play for that high level where people they shout.
Yes, sir.
So yes, for me, na glory days. I happy Saturday here.
You be senior man. I know if you ask you which from your favorite states right now.
For these games.
Out of 9 now.
For this game, you know, say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't turn me to small father of sports.
You belong to everybody. I
belong to every state. But for my belly, worry not the carry last.
Remata.
Yeah, of course. Quite an interesting one, of course. Odudu, final take from you this morning on the Niger Delta Games. You've listened to a couple of the actors, of course. What are your final, your expectations as before we progress to other matters on the show this morning?
To, you know, the word by one of the athletes, fairness. Yeah. I want the organizers to ensure that politics should be taken off totally. You know, these are kids. Yeah. If for any reason a child goes to the tartan track, does what he's supposed to do, and he knows that he's supposed to win it, and for whatever reasons, the result speaks otherwise, I think it will destroy the morale of that kid forever. So while we are looking at the bragging rights, whether it's going to be Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Delta, Bayelsa, we should understand that at this level, it's about development. It's about identifying and nurturing those talents. We should allow only the winners should emerge on the tartan tracks, on the pitch of play, and the umpires have to understand that they owe the whole of Niger Delta and Nigeria a responsibility to only give the medals or the points and the scores to those that deserve it. And the last one, Samuel, beyond this Games Festival, we should also look at how we can educate, empower, and train the game master so that after this event, these children will go back to the schools. Someone has got to follow through. The national coaches should be here, and the game masters and game mistresses are the ones that will spend more time with these children in their schools. That is the only way we can identify them and help them grow to stardom.
Yeah, I agree with you. It also means that there might be a need in the future for a Niger Delta Sports Commission, or perhaps the Commissioner of Sport in all the Niger Delta states might need to come together and create a system to implement some of the things you are saying this morning, Odudu. But let's see. In the coming days, anyway, we'll get some other members of the MOC and the LOC to talk about post-games, what we intend to do, so that in the next 2 months, we will start asking ourselves, where are the talents from the Niger Delta Games that we discover? For some of these talents, anyway, they will also have opportunity to go to Abeokuta in the next 2 months, thereabout, for the National Sport Festival. Now,